Hello and welcome. If you're a parent of an elementary schooler, you know exactly what it's like. You're navigating this world filled with screens and apps and all these websites, and you're probably wondering, how does this all fit in with actual learning? Well, in today's explainer, we're going to dive into some new rules for reading in this digital age. Think of it as a clear guide for the journey ahead. Okay, let's just get right to it, because this is the big question on every parent's mind, isn't it? And it's a totally valid concern. You hand your kid a tablet, and there's that little voice in your head wondering if you're unlocking their potential or just, creating a distraction. But what if the question isn't whether tablets are good or bad? Let's try to look at this a different way and see how we can make them really powerful tools for learning. So here's the key. We need to think not just about traditional reading, but about something called new digital literacy. Now, this isn't about throwing out the books, not at all. It's about expanding our definition of what it even means to be literate today. It's the skill set our kids need to understand, use, and navigate that huge world of information that's right at their fingertips. All right, so our first rule is all about connection. This is so important. It's not about books versus screens. It's about using them together to build a much stronger foundation for learning. They're partners in this, not competitors. And this really gets to the core of it. All the research shows that these new skills are built right on top of the old ones. I mean, think about it. To even search for something online, you have to know how to spell, you have to know how to ask a good question, and you have to be able to read the results you get back. Those strong basic skills, phonics, vocabulary, comprehension, they're the essential launchpad for any kind of digital exploration. And you can really see this partnership in action right here. With a traditional book, a child develops that deep, quiet focus. They learn the building blocks of language, and then they can hop onto a device and play a fun game that reinforces those exact phonics skills. Or they can dive deeper into a topic they just read about. See how that works? One experience makes the other one even richer. Okay, let's make this super practical. Here's how this could work at home, maybe on a Tuesday night. You could start by reading a book together that introduces a new letter sound. Then you can jump onto a website like Starfall to play some fun games that practice that exact sound. And then, maybe for a school project or just for fun, an app like Epic gives you an entire library on demand, letting your child connect what they're learning to a whole world of news stories. Now let's move on to our second rule. And honestly, this one might be the most important one of all. A lot of parents worry that technology is kind of replacing their role, but it's actually the exact opposite. You are more essential than ever. This quote from the research just says it all, doesn't it? A device can give your child information, sure, but it can't give them wisdom or context or guidance. That's your job. You're the one who helps them make sense of everything they're seeing. So your involvement, your presence, is what turns simple screen time into real, meaningful education. So what does being a digital guide actually look like? Well, picture this. You're on the couch together and your kid is watching a video about volcanoes. Being a guide means saying, hey, that reminds me of your science fair project next week. It's pausing the video and asking, wow, what was the coolest part of that? Or what else do you want to find out now? You're not just monitoring what they're doing, you're exploring with them. And maybe most importantly, you're showing them what it looks like to be a curious and responsible user of technology yourself. And this brings us to our final rule, which is all about getting our kids ready for a future that is always, always changing. The skills they need aren't set in stone. They have to be dynamic. It used to be that being literate meant you knew a certain set of facts. But today, it really means knowing how to learn. Information changes, technology changes. So the most important skill we can teach our kids is how to be flexible, critical thinkers who can adapt to whatever comes next. Which, of course, brings us to the elephant in the room. The internet is an incredible, amazing resource, but it's also a place where, well, not everything is true. Teaching our children how to navigate this landscape is a huge part of this new digital literacy. You can see the balance we have to strike right here. On one side, you have these amazing opportunities, getting them ready for the future, helping them think flexibly. But on the other side, we have to be aware of the cautions. And that last one is the big one, the difficulty in knowing what's reliable. I mean, think about Pluto. We all learned it was a planet, right? Well, now it's not. That's a perfect, simple example you can use with your kids to talk about how facts can change and why it's so important to always ask, hey, where is this information coming from? So, where do you start? You can literally begin tonight with 4 simple things. First, explore a new website together. Second, ask those critical questions. Who weighed this? Are they an expert? Why should we believe them? Third, make a simple family plan that balances book time and screen time. And finally, just model curiosity. When a question comes up, make it a habit to say, you know what, I'm not sure. Let's find out together. At the end of the day, technology is just a tool. It's not good or bad on its own. The real power is in how we guide our children to use it. By being an engaged, curious, and thoughtful guide, you can empower your child not just to consume information, but to become a wise and adaptable creator in the world of tomorrow.